Okay, so for this drill, one of the key element that we're going to need here is going to be the indirect rein. Now, I've got some videos on the comfort zone about the indirect rein, and this is something that we're going to start talking about a lot more once we reach sort of the level 3 training with our horses, okay? And so the indirect rein means that we're going to take a control of the inside shoulder via an indirect contact. Indirect contact meaning we're going to use the shoulder and that line here between the neck and shoulder as a contact point, as an intermediary between our hand and the corner of the mouth, okay? This is why that it's called an indirect contact. The benefit of an indirect rein is, or the benefits are, I should say, are that when you have a horse that kind of pushes on you, that is bracy or tends to even, you know, run away from you and is defensive, it's a good way to maintain contact, you know, with enough pressure to make your horse want to find a way out of this, but without really giving them something to pull against, okay? So it's very hard, it's very rare that a horse will get very defensive on that. It's a lot easier for us to win an argument against the horse when you have an indirect rein, okay? So, because if, let's say, I pull very hard here, then my horse can just be like, no, and goes that way, okay? Because I pull this way, he'll go that way. But if I do an indirect rein to go that way, okay, here I'm going to pull, and he's, okay, so you can see he first braced, but then he's like, okay, where do I go? He tried to push his shoulder that way a little bit, and then he put his nose there, and then when he realized that, no, there was nothing from my legs coming, there was nothing more to it, then he just kind of gave me his chin and relaxed. And this is what I want, okay? So the number one thing I want to feel from the indirect rein is going to be that I get the corner of the mouth and the horse just follow his nose and kind of wraps around my inside rein here, okay? You see, like, he's just kind of wrapping around my inside rein and just following his nose around me like that. So, because I'm not telling him where to go or what to do necessarily. I'm just asking for the corner of his mouth and control over that shoulder via indirect rein. So that's going to be the number one step, okay? So working this both direction at the walk and trot and two-handed is going to be the first step of today's drill. So we're going to be doing that as we warm up the horse at the walk and at the trot. So here I want to make sure that I drive my horse into that indirect contact, okay? You want to always be pushing forward, okay? That is the trick here, and that is the thing to keep in mind is that when you have an indirect rein, then you're not quite as clear as to where you want those shoulders to go or those front feet to go. So they're going to rely a lot on what your legs are going to be doing and what your seat's going to be doing. And that is why this exercise is going to be so beneficial to everything around it. It's because it's going to get our horse to really pay attention to our legs and make us use our seat and our legs in a much more effective way, okay? So again, for starters, first thing we want to be able to do is trot, loose, small circle, indirect rein, maintain forward motion, and I want to feel like the horse is wrapping around our inside rein here and just wants to go that direction, okay? No matter what is happening, you just want to counter that with sitting deeper in your pockets and driving forward into that until you get that nice wrap-around feeling where the horse wants to go that direction. Now, the reason I picked this horse today is because this is a horse that is that has enough training to understand all that, but yet has not reached its full potential because he's developed some habits of hiding behind the bridle, putting his head a little bit too much behind the bit and hiding into his chest and not using his body, okay? And so this is a common mistake that you can see a lot of reiners do these days, and that comes from people just really being aggressive with their hands and pulling in the horse's face a lot without really having anything that makes sense and any sense of direction through our seat, driving our horse through their diagonal. This is why that he's a perfect candidate to do this exercise, because quickly when I'm going to do this, instead of just thinking, okay, I'm going to hide my head in my chest, he's going to start, hopefully we're going to get him to where he's pushing from behind, lifting his shoulder, and he's more like thinking, where do I go, okay? All right, we have to stop there for a second and put some fly spray on him. So, but now that's settled, let's keep going. So yeah, anyway, so this is why this drill I think is going to be, I think is very beneficial to me, is because it gives me a goal, okay? It gives me always something to do, and this is why I like continuous drills, because continuous drills allows us to to keep going at it and keep going. The same as you see those drills in various sports such as hockey, where you have a a pass here and a pass here, and then they circle around, and we just keep going with this drill until the players get really good at it. Same thing with the horse, okay? We can just repeat that and repeat that, repeat that until the horse gets really good at it, and then we stop, reward, do it again tomorrow, and eventually the horse just starts to understand and have a little bit more of a sense of purpose into what we're doing. And I feel like that this is what a horse like that needs, okay? So in this drill today, we're going to use the indirect rein in order to help us lock him into his diagonal by really getting good control over his inside shoulder and the inside corner of his mouth, okay? And then from that, developing that into driving him through his diagonal and controlling it in various parts of the arena into this drill that I'm talking about, okay? So hopefully you'll see hopefully we'll get some benefit out of that you can appreciate and see and learn from, and hopefully this will be a great session today. So let's get to it.